The African Development Bank is calling on Ghana to strengthen its economic resilience in the face of growing global uncertainties. The call comes in the wake of the escalating Israel-Iran conflict, which has triggered fresh fears over global economic stability. Speaking to Joy Business, the bank's vice president in charge of infrastructure and industrialization, Solomon Kwaino, emphasized the urgent need for Ghana and other African nations to deepen intra-African trade to cushion themselves from external shocks. James Eshan has more.
At a press conference in Accra, the vice president of the African Development Bank in charge of infrastructure and industrialization, Solomon Kwaino, warned that Ghana must take urgent steps to shield its economy from external shocks. He said the current geopolitical tensions, including the escalating Israel-Iran conflict, are already impacting global economic stability, with Africa not spared.
So now we just have to, take the benefits we've seen on the macro and also make micro reforms that would then further stimulate growth.
Yeah. We are seeing some disturbances from the Middle East. I know you're not an economist, but from what you've seen so far, how do you sort of wrap our head around all of this?
I mean, look, one of the things we've come to all realize, especially since COVID, is that the world would always have multiple shocks, right? And so you have to build your economy for resilience, yeah? Because yesterday's shock was COVID. Today's shock is a combination of the wars between Ukraine and Russia, and then also some of the issues in the Middle East, etc. There will always be shocks. So the best thing is to really, prepare your economies for resilience. And this is why we are saying, Africa, trade amongst yourselves. Yeah, I mean, we're $3 trillion GDP economy, right? Let's focus on that. Let's not, right today, we only trade amongst ourselves up to 15%. In Europe and other places, it's 70+%. And we shouldn't all be looking at import substitution of all products. Let's focus on the value chains where we're competitive, okay? And then we trade amongst ourselves.
Mr. Kwaino disclosed that the bank had held a series of intensive working sessions with stakeholders, including the 24-hour Economy Secretariat and relevant government ministries.
That way, we actually have our economies turning on a regional basis and not just purely on a country basis.
Are we to expect some fresh funding from the bank anytime soon?
There would always be funding from the bank, especially private sector, which is the reason I'm here. We're here looking for bankable projects that we can support and also PPP projects. But we're also trying to create the enabling environment for Ghana's capital to fund Ghana's projects. You don't have to wait for AfDB. You don't have to wait for the West. Ghana has significant capital. We estimate the assets under management in just pension funds alone. We haven't even added, life insurance, investment pools, etc. I mean, that's $5.2 billion equivalent. Just imagine if we took 10% of that and invested into infrastructure in the productive sector. Absolutely. And that's why I have confidence.
And is there a specific amount you're looking at?
Give me the bankable projects and I'll tell you the amount.
They identify concrete areas where the bank can provide meaningful support, particularly in transport infrastructure, a sector he described as one of AfDB's core strengths.
So I've had the opportunity to see, various key drivers of the Ghanaian economy and meet with, both players in government agencies, and also private sector. The core of my trip was to really support Ghanaian domestic capital from pension funds, from life insurance companies, to find a way to channel that into infrastructure, into industry, into affordable housing, etc., so that Ghana doesn't really wait to rely on aid or foreign investments to continue to catalyze its own economic growth. Okay, and so along those lines, I've really met with all the players, including the private sector, the regulators as well, and there's a strong interest in actually creating this, guarantee facility that would help essentially fund the engine of growth for the economy to continue to develop and deliver jobs, especially for youth and women.
Talking about growth, and that definitely trade to some of these growth. From your 5 days of report you've seen so far and all of that, so do you foresee any threats so far with respect to this economy?
Okay, once again, I'm not an economist, okay? I'm more of a private sector investor. But based on really the development strategy and the development plans, whether it's the 24-hour economy initiative, whether it's the big push, I see a great rationalization in those efforts, those initiatives that can really help support the economy to achieve its objectives. I also see, greater fiscal responsibility from government and also very, positive monetary policy.
He added that discussions within the Ministry of Roads and the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority and the Ministry of Finance PPP unit revealed several transformational projects ready for takeoff.
The second is supporting a visionary 24-hour economy initiative. The 24-hour economy initiative looks promising and has tremendous potential to transform Ghana's economy. This is a highly visionary concept that has captured our attention and also our enthusiasm. We conducted a series of intensive working sessions with Mr. Guzitano, the 24-hour Economy Secretariat, the Ghana Infrastructure Investment Fund, and several other partners, and have identified concrete areas where the bank can provide meaningful support to drive implementation.
The AfDB also emphasized the importance of unlocking private sector investment opportunities in logistics, agriculture, energy, and agro-processing.
The area is advancing transport infrastructure development. Transport infrastructure development represents one of our core areas of strength as the African Development Bank, as we have demonstrated through numerous successful projects across the continent. During this mission, we engaged with the Ministry of Roads and Highways, also the Ghana Ports and Harbour Authority, and the PPP unit at the Ministry of Finance. And we do believe that we are aligned with the priority projects outlined in the Big Push Infrastructure Initiative, and we will be exploring these.
The African Development Bank says it will actively pursue these opportunities in partnership with local stakeholders.